So this is a general welcome to my channel, even for me. I haven't been on in 3 months, and in that time everything has been fine. I've just been working, picking up a new hobby honestly, and taking a break from makeup. Like in those 3 months there's been a huge major shift in what I use and don't use anymore. So I really want to come back and revisit stuff that I've purchased in the past and see if it was all worth it. And I feel like a pretty strong contender for that is the infamous Mcgrath Foundation. Now this is $60, and considering the PlayStation 5 came out, and I'm gonna see if I should have saved those $60 for a game or if I still like this foundation. Now to be fair, it's been a while since the foundation was released. Just going back and revisiting YouTube to see when the reviews were out, it's been a year already. Now I purchased this I think around 6 or 7 months later. I wasn't sure, I was on the fence. I love Pat McGrath, but for a total of $68. I can't even say it out loud. Just $68, that's insane. I'm seeing if it was worth it. So yeah, starting off, I don't have the primer. I wasn't gonna buy that. I'm so sorry. But in the past couple of months, I have been using my Fenty Primer for pretty much all my foundations. I feel like a foundation is a keep for me if I am able to use my Fenty Primer. I just feel like it's the most high-end primer that I feel comfortable buying, even though it is a lot. I don't use it as often just because I don't really put on foundation anymore, but I enjoyed this thoroughly in the summer. It's winter now. I am a little bit dry, so hopefully this will make my face feel a little more hydrated and just dewy, glowy, everything we want in our foundation. Now there's still a lot of product in here. I pretty much just use a pump. In my old videos, which thank you guys so much for showing love to those, I normally apply my foundation with a wet sponge, but the actual site and page of Pat McGrath says you just put it on with your fingertips. So I've been shaking it up, but I'm just gonna put a pump on. All right, that's plenty. And I'm gonna go in with my fingers as it recommends and put it pretty much on my problem area. And here's the color on my hand. I ended up getting a medium 15. This just feels like it's the type of product that she uses on the runway when she's like putting in the finishing touches to a model right before they're about to get out. As you can see, there is a major difference. So even though it's still wet, I feel like it blends out and dries up pretty nicely. Like it's already gone on my hand. Yeah, and this is just with 2 pumps. Over the areas that I know that I haven't touched, I feel that it's dry. And I just want that nice dewiness that this ends up giving me all over my skin. Okay, so that's pretty much just 2 pumps on my face. I feel like it has evened out the darkness that I had under my eyes, and I'm not as red as I was before. And even though it's very faint, it's more like I'm just pink on my forehead and cheeks, but I feel like it leveled out pretty nicely. This squirts out strongly. Like you get a little bit with just a hint of a squirt. I'm gonna put more around here, my cheeks. So this was the application with my fingers, and my fingers were pretty dry. I just get dry during fall and winter, and I feel like it looks fine. Let me raise the brightness a little bit. I raised my brightness by 2 levels, I guess, and I feel like every time I just end up creasing, I have to just pat it out, but I feel like it pretty much absorbs into my skin pretty nicely. My problem areas are mostly under my eyes. I have a bit of smile lines and then just when I frown, but let me double triple check. So now I am fully blended, and I'm just gonna show you with another light. I don't know if there is much difference now, but I did just have an unblended bit on my nose. But I have like just the lightest bit of texture. But it's really not bad. So I know that you can also use a brush, but I just find it easier to tap in with a sponge. So since this is pretty much just that summery, kind of carefree, easy makeup look that I want, I'm gonna finish off my eyebrows, put in a little bit of bronzer and some blush, and come back with updated thoughts. This is a pretty fast video, oh my god. So of course, after doing 10 different things, this is a completed look. I ended up using the Mothership 6 palette, and forgive the fingerprints, you could probably see that. But I mainly just stuck with this trio right here for my eye. Another thing I haven't been using too much is mascara, and this mascara is not bad. Like, I was kind of upset with it. It would leave a little bit of clump on my lashes, but I feel like after a while of not using it, I come back wiser, knowing how to do it this time. The highlight and lipstick I ended up using is Highlight Space Age from Kaleidos Makeup and Too Faced lipstick. So I do feel a little bit dry. I do have blush, which I feel like went on my face pretty fine, as well as bronzer, but I am just gonna finish off with a Milani setting spray. $68 foundation. Looking back, I know I don't need this. I still to this day, I'm pretty happy with the Urban Decay foundation that I had tried on before. And I feel like I had a Maybelline foundation. I'm gonna look through my old videos and remember which one it is. It's just my bottle expired. But I feel like I could get the same effect. Above all, though, considering when it came out, I feel like it got buried under the other medium to light coverage foundations that have been coming out this year. And honestly, I was getting kind of tired of the matte foundations that would just make you look, I don't even know what that is, just doll-like. It's nice to have something that's really light, but I could definitely get that elsewhere. I feel like the color that I got, which once again, it's the medium 15. I feel like it matches pretty well. I kind of just fall in between that light to medium tan with neutral undertones, and this one works pretty well. So it's been really gloomy and rainy, and I'm not really going to get much natural sunlight, but here is just the foundation under different light. And I still have a nice glow just all around. I do look a little bit yellow, but that's like my skin tone. See, that matches pretty nice. I think that matches pretty nice. I'm just looking at myself in the mirror. But yeah. The description itself mentions that it is a self-setting, buildable, medium to lightweight coverage foundation, and I feel like it is. I was honestly gonna get that whole set of the primer, the powder, and the foundation, which in itself is the price of a whole palette. So that's $124 for 3 things, which you think it would make sense, but as I mentioned, I'm happy using my Fenty Primer, or when I don't have that, I end up going with a Milani primer. They're just hydrating enough to be comfortable with the foundations that I use. Considering it is medium weight, I'm actually happy that within, what is this, 3-4 drops? I mean, it's not bad. It is a super creamy foundation. It does feel silky and it dries nicely on my face. The bottle itself, I am happy to have on my vanity. Like, it looks amazing. But $68 later, this wouldn't be a repurchase. There are options. There are alternatives. Thank God. But, you know, a whole year later as well, Pat McGrath on her website always has a 10, 15 to almost 20% off, especially during the holidays and Black Friday. So if you were thinking about picking out this foundation just to try it yourself, then I hope this video helps. You know, there's no shame in purchasing something that has come out before. You don't have to follow the hype train once it comes out. Like, you could think about what you want to get, especially during these times when we're barely using it. Right now, this is as a decoration. I was using it in the summer for just a nice clean cut finish where I don't have to set or put concealer on or anything. I'd be happy with that. I'm 100% fine. But I would probably use alternatives once I finish the bottle. Regardless, I still love Pat McGrath. I haven't really been in the loop with any makeup news besides Christie's collab that I just purchased, the palette, but that's about it. It is super nice to be back. As you can see, there have been changes. Also, my vanity. I've cleaned out a couple of things. There isn't much that I'm getting in as in new stuff, so I may just bring out some oldies but goodies, as well as some foundations that I am yet scared to try, which is the Anastasia Foundation is a to-do video. I didn't like that foundation when it came out. I've been scared to go back to it, but I may. And I have a couple of other ones on the list, as well as post videos on just stuff that I bought over quarantine, things that I've changed, and my new hobby, which is sewing. Also, this is just my mic, so I'm sorry if you see like little fuzzy hairs. It's just my microphone. But thank you guys so much for the love on my previous videos. I just want to continue this and do short bursts of videos every so often, hopefully more weekly stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys take care, stay safe, especially with the holidays coming up. I am planning to see my dad, but that's pretty much the only family member I'm seeing, and we've pretty much just been home since summer, just not going anywhere. Stay safe, take care, wear your masks, and if sometimes some things just get overwhelming, sit down and listen to music, pick up a new hobby, which I will talk about in future videos and show you what I've made since August. That's when I got my sewing machine. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!